Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome
What's
to
going on?
a new edition of the Underrated AF podcast. So this is going to be awesome. We're going to do this new interview edition of our pod. It's going to be a total separate upload. We're doing this mainly to focus and just add more value to the guests that we get on here. So lucky number one, or the reason why we're even starting this new addition to the pod, we got Sergio.
What's going on, Serge?
What's up, guys?
Yo, so bro is dope. I seen him random as hell on Instagram doing a performance of what I would say is a hit underrated song.
Real talk.
Of his song called Pride. I seen it on, I'm pretty sure it was either Justice or it was the Respect the Underground page or something, or the hip hop page. Which one was it?
I think it was the Respect the Underground
Respect
page.
the Underground page.
Right.
Yeah.
What? So
It was hidden.
when you were performing that song, was that during the interview you had for the whole show and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm familiar. I've done. What I do, one or two? Two with them. Yeah, I did 2 performances with the HipHop Show. I don't know if it was the Phoenix one. I think it was the AZ HipHop Show, like the other one he has later on in the year. Mm-hmm. But I'm familiar. Justice is dope. Shout out Justice. I like what he's doing. I actually messaged him the other day. I was like, yo, I appreciate you doing what you do for the artists trying to figure themselves out or do more or want to be better. And then it was cool because he's always like, I'm doing God's work. Like the way he messaged me back. So Justice, cool dude, love what you're doing. I'm excited to see what Sergio. Is this your first show?
Yeah, my first
ever?
show. Ever.
Okay.
Ever.
I'm excited. I'm gonna be there. Anybody who's there that knows Bliss, say what's up. Also, I'm gonna be there supporting a couple artists. So, this guy's giving me access because I'm gonna buy some tickets from Sergio. So
Hell yeah.
He told me about. I wasn't really gonna go, to be honest with you, but once you told me about it, that you were gonna be there, I was like, you know what?
It's a no-brainer.
I kind of want to go see this fool perform that Pride song.
Hell yeah.
So I want to be sane.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, you don't realize it, bro. That song, that's a hot song.
It's a hitter.
It's hot.
It's a hitter.
Thank you.
And I don't know. Maybe it's just something that I like, but I got a good feeling that I got good taste. I just always felt that. So whatever, you could say I'm trash, whatever you want, but I got a good feeling that this is a good song. So this might be one of those songs that even 2 albums down the line, 3 albums down the line, this might still be one of those songs.
Still hitting. Still in the numbers, yeah.
You just randomly put a video up on Instagram performing it. You know what I mean? And it's still like, for people that haven't heard it.
Right.
Shoot, that new song that Sergio just released. You know what I mean? Tell me real quick, walk me through the making of Pride.
So, based on a true story, verse 2, I talk about people that robbed, they broke into my car, and I was just I was pissed, dude. So I just started writing shit. I just started writing shit out of nowhere, and I came across that beat, and to me, when I write a song, I have to listen to a beat first. And from there, I get inspiration and how I want to structure out a song and whatnot. Right. So, it was really all just everything I write has feeling to it. So it represents my feelings.
Feel that.
I don't know if you could relate to this, but when you hear a beat, does it kind of speak to you in a way?
Yes.
Does it kind of tell you what the emotions are, what the vibes are? You know what I mean?
Yes.
It does, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I always feel that if you give me a hot beat, I could just, I got 10 years of writing it down my, up my sleeve, right?
Right.
But I mean, even I don't know. Even back then on my first album, you know, give me a hot beat and the beat will talk to me.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the Pride, when you heard that beat, did you know that it was gonna be such a good song, or
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Or give me that, because I don't know. When I hear a dope ass beat, I'm like, yo, this is the hit. You know what I'm saying? But like, how did you know, even up at the jump of hearing the beat? Like, how did you know this was like?
So we're kind of in the same boat the way we think. You know, I like to think I have good taste too. So when I heard that beat for the first time, you know, you're hearing a whole bunch of instruments. You're hearing that sample.
Right.
That sample is infectious, you know. So I heard it and I was like, damn, I just like, it wasn't I have to write to this. It was just
I'm excited.
I'm gonna write to this.
Yeah.
Like this is what I'm doing now.
It's almost like the beat pulls like the words out of you.
It reels you in.
Kind of crazy. It's cool to talk about it because I experienced that. You know, whenever I hear like a dope ass beat. So you have right this moment you have one album out on all platforms.
05
and
Sessions.
then you have that single, the Pride single.
Pride. What other singles? I have the first ones I made, 480, Band for Band. Yeah,
For sure.
too.
And are those ones on the 05 album?
480 is because area code 480 Mesa. You know.
Representing Arizona.
Hell yeah.
You already know.
So 05 Sessions. That was a fun project.
So
to make.
let's go back to November real quick. So let's talk about that album and why that came about. Right. So this was your first album. You know, I get excited when I talk about my first thing. You know.
Yeah.
What even manifested this? Why did you put out your first album?
What brought it to light? Like,
so this was always an idea of mine. You know, ever since high school, I'm really inspired by Kendrick Lamar. You know, that's one of my favorite artists.
For sure.
I love his flow. He has a nasty flow. Y'all know that, huh?
I'm not gonna lie, you sound a lot better than Kendrick. I'm just gonna put that out there real quick.
Thank you. One of his first albums, Section 80, it kind of inspired me a bit with this album. I'm a very visual person, so if you take a look at his album cover for Section 80, it's very grim and very, there's not much to it, but you get the message of it. So
man, we got so high back to that, like listening to that music back in the day. And then Good Kid, Mad City.
Oh man.
Anyway, continue.
Top tier.
So it's always been an idea in the back of my mind, and as of lately I've been able to make that real. And that album cover where I shot it was where I grew up, right here on Mesa Drive in 9th. So
that's crazy. Small world. I did not realize bro lives like it close to me.
Yeah, it's I gotta thank that area that I lived in for my love of music,
for sure.
Rap, so it's very I don't know, when I thought of the title 05 Sessions, I thought of it as like kind of like a therapy session, and each track would be like a therapy session.
Pretty hard name. Like if I gotta go off of me saying that I have good taste, right? I think the name of the album matches up with the vibe you were looking for. Like it's a great. You put the picture together well, like with the atmosphere
and the
kinda,
delivery.
you know what I'm saying? So it's not like some weird album picture and then it doesn't really match up with the music. You know what I mean? Like it's cohesive.
It's not random songs. Yeah, I battled a lot with picking them out and sorting them out in order to give it a kind of like a movie, kind of like that's always what I try to go for.
For sure.
It's I had originally I had like 13 songs, but I had to cut some out because
13. I think the album was what, like 5 or 6.
It was 9.
Was it? I'm dead. Okay.
Yeah, it was 9 songs, but
That's a solid number. I'm not gonna lie. When it starts getting above 10, it starts to get a little filler. You know what I mean? There's a lot of filler in there.
for my first album, I wanted to keep it like short,
Nice and tight. Yeah.
a good introduction to myself.
Yeah, for sure.
Next album, sometime next year, maybe. I'll definitely have a bit more.
Hard.
Bring it to light, baby. Bring it to light.
Yeah.
2025 sessions. No, I'm just kidding. So what I really want to know is, okay, so you mentioned earlier before we started recording, you mentioned that you've been writing music, or at least making music, writing music since 2013, or since you were 13.
Since I was 13.
Since you were 13. What that was what, like in 2019? 2020? Somewhere right there, right?
2018. 2018 was when I first really got into music, because
For sure.
what really got me into music was learning how to play piano. So middle school, I was in choir in middle school.
That's hard.
So
What'd you play?
No, he's in choir. You're singing.
Oh, I'm dead. I was getting it confused with orchestra.
Yeah, in my choir class, our teacher had a piano there, and I kind of convinced him to let me use the piano during lunch.
So you
and
could
shit.
play?
Yeah, so I can
You
practice.
play really well.
Oh,
You'll
yeah.
like this controller / piano I have in the studio.
Oh, hell yeah.
You'll like. Damn. Well, what I was trying to get at just now was, so you've always been, since you were 13, you've been writing and making music.
Making music, yep.
What was that click to where it was like,
I could do this.
I'm gonna put out an album like that? That's what I'm really curious to know right now.
It's one of those things where in life, you can have a great career in something,
For sure.
but it might not make you happy, So, this was, when was this? 2023. This was me barely getting out of high school, not really knowing what to do. I'm in college right now for construction management, and it's great, it's cool. But will it make me happy? Does it make me as happy as music? No. Music makes me happy. Mm-hmm. So right there was kind of that shift of, okay, I know I'm good at music, so what if I just invest in myself a little bit? Like anything, you have to keep going at something in order to get to where you really want to be.
100%.
So, just that question, I just had that question haunting me. So I just went all in.
Your thought process with the whole does it make me happy? All that stuff really, it I feel like that was my thought process, or that is my current thought process. Every day, you're good, don't worry about it. Every day, I ask myself, why am I still doing this podcast? Why am I even making music? And it's
right,
because I like doing it, and it makes me happy doing it. And
it's my shit.
That's why my artist name is Bliss, by the way. I am solely committed to, when I'm acting like Bliss, I'm acting like I want my life to be. And it's to be happy, my happiness, at the end of the day. So I like that. Yo, you clearly have a lot of stuff you're working on, right? I mean, single wise, you got a show coming up. Before we get into the stuff you got coming up in the future, let's take it back a little bit and let's get into some details with where you're from, because I feel like people that are potential fans, people that are fans already, they're gonna want to know, and they're gonna want you to shout out the city you're from, what high school you graduated. So let's go back to that. So you were born in Arizona, right?
Mesa, Mesa, Arizona.
Mesa Made. Okay, so you've been here all your life, Mesa.
All my life.
You live a little bit on the east side right now, though. Right?
Yeah, now we moved 6-7 years ago.
Heck yeah.
So is this your, whenever you want to talk about where you're from, is it no, I'm from Mesa? Is this your pride right here?
Hell yeah.
Hard. So what school did you go to? High school. What high school did you graduate?
I graduated from Mesa High here on Gilbert.
It's literally a block away.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's why when you sent me the address to,
he was like,
to
what?
come here, I was like, damn, is this close?
I'll be there in 5.
So no, that's crazy. Is there anything about Mesa High, about your former classmates, is there anything you want to like shout out or like talk about with that?
I really like that.
My bad. Let me add something to that.
What's up?
Was there anything with the music that was related to your high school at all? Like, you know what I mean? Like anything. So try to answer all that. Like,
so did you continue the piano lessons with choir into high school, or was that
that was
what it was when it was, and then you just dove into where you are?
Oh,
now?
that's right, because you said the choir was in high school, right?
It was 8th grade.
It was middle
school.
No, junior high.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
Is that middle school?
Yeah.
I can't do
We're all
that.
bro.
I can't do that. I don't know.
No, so yeah, tell me real quick about high school. If there's anything you want to talk about, I don't know how close you are to your like, classmates and stuff, but tell me about that, and then kind of get into if anything in school inspired the music.
Yeah, for sure.
So I left choir in 8th grade. I didn't go back in high school, but because of that school, I was able to access, guitars and pianos in there, in jazz. I was in jazz for a semester in junior year, and I wasn't the best at it because I don't know how to read music. I can't.
I feel that.
I just can't. It's hard for me. But
you don't have to be able to read music though.
No.
But it helps, right? I mean, I vaguely can read music, you know what I mean? But but no, you don't need to know. But you could be street smart, you know what I mean,
right.
so to speak. But yeah, continue.
So because of Mesa, I was able to access all those instruments, and being around people my age, my race and everything, playing corridos and during lunch
jazz?
and everything.
Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, in jazz too, like people would have their guitars out and everything,
yeah.
just going crazy.
You're just getting it.
And corridos was the thing that made me really want to learn guitar.
Just dive into it.
Yeah. And ever since
they
then,
do go hard on the guitar and corridos. Yeah.
They go crazy. And ever since I picked up a guitar, it's just been like, before then my music was kind of flat,
like mediocre,
flat
like
that,
monotone.
Are you talking about the actual outcome of what you would record, or just like your motivation was kind of
everything? What I would record, what I would listen to, stuff like that.
So it was kind of bland. You think? Like not a whole lot of
spice, boom, boom,
special
here and there,
spicy stuff.
No seasoning.
No seasoning.
So after picking up a guitar, I started diving into different genres. One of the first songs I learned how to play was "Stay" by Post Malone. And then from there it went into like 70s rock and oh man, I love the early AC/DC shit.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, man. What else? I got into like bossa nova kind of sounds and everything, and from there, me kind of just taking it all in, with all different kinds of music and everything, I feel like it kind of translated into what I would eventually start to release later that year in high school.
So what year was that exactly? The jazz stuff? You
Jazz
said that was
stuff,
your junior year or no? Or you said you took one semester of it?
Yeah, I took a semester of it junior year.
Junior year. And then did you do any more kind of like music classes throughout high school or?
No, but I had friends that they'd bring their guitar to school, and sometimes during lunch I'd like perform like out like where the lunches are, just like a little intimate little crowd and shit like that. It was cool. That was back in freshman year doing that.
That's exciting. Like when I think about being in a room full of just music equipment or anything like that, just always it gets me excited. Like, does that kind of, you feel that too?
Yes.
Like when you walk in that room, it's like, yo, this is a place,
let's get to work, baby.
where like this isn't the regular industrial America. This is art. Like, you know what I mean? This is where people come to create.
My first time going to Handcrafted Studios. Shout out Handcrafted Studios. Shout out Felix. Is my guy. He goes crazy.
At RTU, right?
RTU. You know, first time going into that studio. I've never been in a professional studio before, and I was just losing my mind. I was going crazy. Felix would vouch for me on that. He
Oh really?
He
What
knows,
was he like? Yo, you excited or what? Like,
dude, like he could tell I was excited, and I was just soaking everything in, and I had a whole bunch of questions and everything, and it was just.
He was just firing them off. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
It was a great experience, you know.
That's hard.
where did you find out anyway about the studio? Like, what got you to even find them and call them, like, or whatever? You know what I mean?
So when I wanted to, I know I'm not the best at, mixing or like making beats and all that. Although I can do it, it's just not gonna turn out the best. You know, I'm not afraid to outsource and go to people that are specifically like,
Doing
Yeah,
thing
like
in that
they
area.
do that.
they
So
do
it's
that
like-
as a living and everything, and like they love it. So I was just looking on Google. That's it.
So what'd you type in? Like studios in Arizona or like?
Recording studios, and then I would go on their Instagrams, their pages, and I came across the owner's Instagram, Brian, and I took a look at his work, his posts, and everything,
and you liked.
yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah.
And so I booked the session with Felix, and rest is history.
Sick. So while you're there, this is gonna get into the show coming up, which is gonna be this Saturday, April 5th.
April 5th.
Right. Okay. This is gonna be a show with the Phoenix Hip Hop Festival. Shout out Justice for putting this together. Right.
Hell yeah.
When did you meet Justice, and how did it even, like, were you looking for a show to perform? Was this something that kind of somebody brought up that you should do, and then you know what I mean? How did that come about?
So this was February 8th, something like that. And I was recording my most recent song that I just put out, Pride. And I noticed that there were like just a whole bunch of people coming in and out of the studio, and I just kind of I asked one of the guys that was there, hey, what's going on, this and that, and he told me, we're doing interviews for the Phoenix Hip Hop Fest. Are you gonna perform? And I'm like, I don't know anything about that. And Felix was telling me about it, and
He's like, nah, hop on that shit.
he was just telling me about it
what?
and what it's about and everything, and he introduced me to Justice.
Hard.
And we got to talking. I showed him the song I just made. He loved it, and I basically just I asked if I could be part of it.
So at the moment, was performing a show even on your mind, or was that
No.
just a curveball that just an opportunity that arose,
Yeah, it's
and now you're in it, like that kind of thing?
yeah.
Yo, Mighty has the thing he always likes saying. What is it? Remember when opportunity meets...
When skill meets opportunity, that's luck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's
every
the true
time he
definition
says
of
that. I
luck.
love when
That's
he
hard.
says that, because there is no such thing as luck. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you do this show, and then that leads to somebody at the show who works for a record label.
Right.
Now they're trying to get into contact with you.
Let's
Right?
put it this way: if you didn't put in the hard work to be where you're at right now, to already be prepped and ready to go and build your skill set,
Right.
you wouldn't feel just as confident to be in this window of opportunity that you have.
Right.
So now you have the opportunity to show your skill set. So now it's just like, that's luck.
You're creating all that luck right now.
You're your luck.
You know what I mean?
You feel me?
Just a snowball.
Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
boom,
So
boom,
you being
boom,
on this
boom.
pod, and I'm gonna put some marketing money behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he's getting views. It's not. Oh, he's lucky. He must have
killing it.
connections.
Killing it.
He must know people. No. I just met bro, and he is.
Brose.
This is just. I just love that whole saying that Mighty has of like that you're creating the luck. That's just a name for it, right? But no, like the hard work that you've clearly been putting in, and like you said, the snowball effect. Like, you know what I mean? People ask like, how do you do that or whatever, and work, consistency,
They're just
showing up.
It doesn't just pop out overnight.
You know what I'm saying? It don't.
So
No.
bro,
You show. You know, it shows on your work. Real talk.
bro went from not having any music out in November or post November, right, to now December, January, February, March. Within 4 months, bro put out an album. Bro made it a hit, underrated song, Pride. Bro's in the studio making connections with RTU.
Get that way.
Bro made Justice,
Yeah.
and now bro's got a show coming up this Saturday. And not to not give us some credit, bro's on the Underrated AF podcast.
Bro's out here getting that work.
So,
You know what I'm saying?
just to take a
I made
second,
it.
I'm dead. Just to take a second and like, kind of like talk about that. You create your own luck,
Yes.
Luck.
right?
Yeah.
Hard. Okay, so let's move on to talking about the hip hop show real quick. So, when will you be performing? You had told me around about 7 to 8 o'clock.
9.
Somewhere between 7 and 9. I won't
7
know officially till Thursday. But
I'm pretty sure it's because he has to see who for sure is all gonna be performing. 'Cause
Right.
you might move later. You know what I mean? Or you might, if the guy shows up, you might still be before him. You know, there's just some nuanced stuff. But
Right.
So anywhere between 7 and 9 o'clock as of right now.
Yes.
So if we're trying to go see
The window of opportunity is in between 7 and 9.
Yeah, if you're trying to show up for that window of opportunity to see Sergio perform, as of right now, you might want to be there 6:30,
For sure.
6:30.
possibly.
Yeah.
But also, there's all these artists. They have about 10 minutes to 15 minutes worth of performance. So when
Showtime.
you do show up, there's going to be multiple stages. Hundreds of artists are going to be performing that night. So
It's gonna be a fun night.
Make sure
Yeah,
you
you
go
already
to
know.
where the main stage is, right? Because Sergio is going to be performing on the main stage.
Yes, sir.
3, right?
As far as I know, there's usually 3 stages.
Yeah.
But that's just from what I know.
Right.
He could have added one, took one off. I don't know.
I think it's 3 stages.
Is
this
it
year.
still 3? It's at the Monarch Theater still?
Yeah.
In downtown Phoenix?
Sure.
Okay. So dope. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I'm there to see bro perform Pride. Because right now that's an underrated song.
Wait, so officially, when is it?
April 5th
Where is it?
at the Monarch Theater.
What time is it?
In downtown Phoenix between 7 and 9 o'clock.
And who you gonna go see?
This underrated as fuck artist over here,
yeah.
Sergio.
Hard.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so is there like a cherry you want to add on top of that? What do you have to? You want to add anything about your performing or your performance or anything like that?
My first performance ever. You know,
Ever.
come.
So get the signed T-shirt. Bring a shirt for him to sign, and bring your Sharpie if you have to.
Invest early.
You know what I'm saying?
Because if you get that stuff
Yeah.
signed right now, and bro blows up, or when he blows up, that's gonna be
you bought stock. Let's put it that way.
Retired.
That's gonna be your first edition Pokemon set.
Real talk. Real talk.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So, hey, wait if you want to. We got an insider about the wait if you want to because he likes watching anime in Japanese. He doesn't care. I like watching it in English just so I could really understand it because I don't like reading subtitles. But anyway, there's a show came out. I'm going to keep it short. Show came out
Solo level.
in English. It was one more episode, and there was still 3 in Japanese after that. It was
Right.
like,
The way it ended
the
was
way it
just
ended,
like.
wait if you want to. Anyway, that was a little side thing. But back to Sergio. So, was that it about the show? Anything else about you want to say about it?
First appearance, first show.
You know what? Where can we get tickets? What are you selling them for?
You could DM me on Instagram, Sergio4L31. I'm
the
selling
details
them
on
for
tickets?
25. You know,
Yeah.
$25. You know?
$25 a ticket. And to add on top of that, I know how RTU works. All the money that goes from the sales of the tickets goes directly to Sergio. So if you ever wanted a moment to support bro and be confident that that money isn't going to be split up between managers and
This
record
and
labels,
that.
blah,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah.
type.
100% of his ticket sales are
The
going
proceeds go to
Sergio.
Sergio.
You'd be directly supporting me. You know, you're gonna get your money's worth. I promise you that.
For sure.
Hey, I'm excited. I'm going as a guest to check it out, and I want to see Pride get performed.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I know most of the lyrics. So when bro's up there, I want to be sane.
Oh, you're gonna scream that shit out.
Hey, it's so cool. Like, it's gonna be cool. The vibe's gonna be cool. Atmosphere's gonna be cool because I don't know. It's just cool having people go, waiting for you to perform.
Yeah.
So even if there's one dude out there in the audience that's like, yeah, Sergio, Pride, let's get it, baby. Like, even if there's one bro out there, it's like, all right, hard. Because, dude, like, quick side note. I did a show. It was a Cinco de Mayo show, and it was over there in Glendale.
Right.
And all it was a bunch of artists. There wasn't a whole lot of audience. It was just a competition of a bunch of artists.
Right.
Bro, when I performed, there was one dude that was there, and he was fucking with me, and he was just like, "Ooh!"
Oh, yeah,
you remember all that mattered in that
Energy.
moment was I made that one dude hype as fuck. Like, it was, dude. That's all it was. Whoa! Like, he was just, dude.
He was
I'm
getting
telling
it.
you,
He was getting it.
even if you got one guy there, and if I have to be that one guy, so be it. I'm sure you'll have support there. But if I'm that one guy that's like, yeah, Pride, let's go. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all you need. And then everybody else in there's going to be like, what the fuck? Who's this motherfucker? Like, wait. He's got that guy hype as fuck. Like, hey, if I got to be the guy to make everybody in that room pay attention, sometimes that's all you need. You just need one dude to be like, yo, I with this guy. Now, all of a sudden, everybody in that
reception's on.
Is like,
Who is this?
Who is this for?
Let me show
You
you.
know what I'm saying? Hey, so obviously I'm excited. Like, I make music. I'm excited to go see a bunch of music get performed.
For sure.
So,
Yeah.
So, once again, anything else on the show thing?
No, we covered everything.
Hard. Okay, so that's the immediate future. That's coming up Saturday, April 5th, right?
April 5th.
What? Give us just, you don't have to be super specific about anything, but give us a bird's eye view of the rest of the year. Is there any big goals you're trying to hit? Like, but also don't like give yourself an insane amount of expectation and accountability. But I mean, if you want to, it's up to you. But like,
I've been told once or twice I'm very optimistic, and
that's what you need to be.
I always tend to see the glass half full, So
The brighter side.
Exactly. So this year, songs, just going at it. I've since I just dropped my album last November, I've been doing nothing but writing. I have songs just stacked in my notes, just ready.
Nice. Do you write physically on a paper or on like your phone?
On my phone, I do. I go on notes. I have.
That's fair. It don't matter. Yeah.
Any potential songs that I consider for, like, for example, like I've been writing this album out. I haven't even called it an album, honestly, but just like I've just been writing songs, and
right.
Any songs that I consider like
album worthy, maybe.
Yeah, I go ahead and I just pin it on top.
Oh, I got you. Nice.
Yeah, so from there I just start to like make a track list and everything.
Yo, bro's got the next big album in America just pinned in his fucking nose. All right,
and y'all don't even know it yet.
Dude, this one's gonna be sick. I'm excited for it. I'm very excited for it. There's a lot of shit I've been wanting to.
So when you say songs, what does that mean to you exactly? Give me a perspective of, is that a song every 2 months? Is that a song every month? Like, give me just kind of a rough, what is a lot estimate of songs to you?
Yeah.
So, the first 2 songs I put them out, I don't know, what was it, like 2 months apart. After that,
you're talking about Pride?
I'm talking about 480, and then 2 months after it was Band for Band, and then 8 months after it was Issues. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
That was the first single off of the album. Then I dropped My Time 2 months after that, and then exactly a month after that one, it was the album. And you know, I want it to be a bit more consistent. So, you know, I'm going for a single like every 2 months, every
For
month.
sure.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, if I could, you know, I'd love to do that. I have a lot of songs ready.
And I'm sure,
Which you can.
I'm sure with your like optimism, like you said you have, and aspirations, like if you could release some videos along with these, like you're gonna, I'm sure you're gonna do whatever's in your power to get done, right?
I'll get it done.
Are these
For sure.
singles as important as you say to where it's like new single out, or is this something like just that's gonna get posted on SoundCloud? You know what I mean? Like, are they like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to gauge the importance of these singles, or if it's just some SoundCloud shit to stay consistent. You know?
No, I treat every single as if it's an album, you know. So I everything I do, it's not just
Some shit just to put out. Yeah.
not just for the fuck of it, you know.
You have intention with what you're doing, so you know what I'm saying?
Yes, which, you know, before we started recording, we were talking about, you know, the verse I wrote for
the song that we got coming up.
you know, that verse was written in not long at all, but at times I can take, you know, what song was it? Old Money, the first song off of my album. I had that sitting for like 3 years before I dropped
Hey,
it.
sometimes they be sitting. Sometimes,
Dude, I had it.
it's not their time. You know what I mean?
I had a whole other beat picked out. I had it all done and everything, but I didn't like it no more.
Yeah.
So I did it again, you know, and you know it takes a lot of convincing me to really like be confident to put something out.
That speaks to the quality of it, right?
Yes.
So if it's that convincing, it's out, right?
Yes, it's, you know, it's very. It's just the process.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a process of, you know, fine tuning everything.
Filtering everything out. Yep.
So okay, so I guess we gotta talk about it, right? Let's talk about our song we got coming up real quick. So, you know, being artists, we gotta work. So I'm not sure if did I hit you up like, yo, we gotta put something out, or was it you? I just remind me real quick.
You.
Right. Okay. That speaks to me outsourcing my accountability. So I like to hit people up and be, if they're dope, and be like, yo, we gotta put some out. We gotta work. You know what I mean? So I hit bro up. This was after we. Oh no. Was this after or before we planned the podcast interview?
This was.
Around the same time, maybe.
I think it was
right?
after we planned
Yeah.
the podcast.
So anyway, bro hit me with a song. With a beat, and then this beat just. He
Slaps.
just found a beat, and yeah, Mighty heard the beat.
Slaps.
He likes it. He heard my verse too. Is dope, and yeah. Anyway, I wrote my verse fairly quick. I hit up Sergio, and I was like, "Yo, done with my verse."
get to
He
work.
said, "Done with my verse," and we're like, "Hey," and he was like, "Hey, when I go down for the pod, you want to just record the verse too?" I was like, hard. All right, let's get it done. So we got something brewing. Depending on the result of the song or how it comes out, we'll see what happens. But we got something for sure that's going to be coming out pretty soon.
Hell yeah.
So that'll be your
Excited.
Sergio,
brewing, baby, it's
Big
brewing.
Zaddy Bliss
Hell yeah.
first ever collaboration. So that'll be hard.
Hell yeah.
Excited for it.
You're gonna be my second collaboration.
Hard.
Damn, number 2. No, I'm just kidding. Like, damn. Like, who was the first anyway?
First was one of my childhood friends.
One of the homies?
Yeah, Realistic. Shout out Realistic.
Hey,
What if he said Dr. Damage? I'm dead. Yo, shout out David. But anyway,
Yeah, we got a
Realistic?
song out. We got a song out called LED.
hard.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Wait, is this one that's out already or?
Yeah,
not yet? Not yet?
it was out.
Damn,
when
I
we put
haven't
it
heard
out?
that song.
I think 2023 we put it out. Yeah, it was tight. It was
Hard.
fucking sick. Yeah,
Hard.
he's very talented. You know, I'll vouch for him. He's hard.
Sick. Hey, shout out Realistic.
Shout out Realistic.
Is he an active artist or is he someone that's just talented that's kind of doing it on the side?
He's active.
Active. Okay. Hey, shoot me a request on Instagram so I can check you out. Like I like looking at music from Arizona. You know what I mean? It's dope. So I mean, I pretty much don't got much more to go over. Now's your time if you want to say something to anybody that I haven't asked you, or if you want to
Spotlight, baby.
shout out whatever you want to shout out. Now's the time.
You know, Phoenix Hip Hop Fest, April 5th. You know, come check me out. Follow my Instagram, Sergio4L31. You know, you'll get everything that you need there.
Boom.
All my music, anything, you'll get it all there.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And don't forget, you create your own luck.
Exactly.
Hard. Yo, dope interview. I was
yeah.
glad to have you on here.
Thank
you.
You already know.
Glad to be able to create a new edition of my podcast with you. It's cool. I really think these interviews are going to bring a lot of value to the guests we have. You know what I'm saying? And also complement the actual podcast episode. Mm-hmm. You know, because now when you listen to the episode, it's not getting all jumbled up with somebody we just met. Right. Maybe. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it gets like... Because me and Mighty are used to talking all the time together. So when we add another, like, personality,
entity,
it just, I don't know. It creates, we don't know how the pod's going to go. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's not. But anyway, separating them, it's going to allow both editions of the pod so far to allow them to grow and shine individually. And this is going to be sick.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So, Sergio, glad to have you on here. This has been... Oh, last question.
Excited to see you perform, big dog.
Thank you.
One final question. What do you think about the Underrated AF podcast?
Great. Thank you guys for having me. This is a great platform, you know?
You think so?
I think so. I really think so.
Appreciate it. Yo, this just started... The whole reason why this whole thing started, and it's funny because Mighty says it all the time, it just started to keep me consistent with work. Mm-hmm. Just like the creating your own luck thing we were saying. Right. Like, the whole point of this whole podcast was... Boom,
snowball.
What could we do to keep just working? Like, you know what I mean? And it just so happened for me that I've always wanted to be able to talk. And then this complements the whole music stuff I got going on in a way, you know, because we kind of target hip hop, you know, a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, like, hard, bro. Appreciate it. Thank
you. Thank you guys for having me.
We most definitely, whenever Sergio's got something big coming up, maybe his next album later in the year, maybe next year. Show us some love,
baby. Show us some love.
Hit us back up. We'd love to have you for another interview.
I'd love to be back.
No doubt.
All right, bro. This has been the interview segment of Underrated AF Podcast. Peace.